Nothing too common as legal.
No, it's not legal.
Right. You wouldn't study illegal, would you?
Of course not. I'm a law-abiding citizen, aren't you?
We're all law-abiding in our own way. Really, you don't do anything illegal?
Nope. Do you do anything illegal? Why would you come in here and ask me that? That's kind of messed up.
Well, I'm just assuming.
Why are you being aggro, though?
I'm not being aggro. I'm
Okay.
just being, like, inquisitive.
Right, the first thing you did is you came in and asked me if I spelled a kite. I don't even know what that is.
You don't even know what type that is?
What is it?
Jews.
Jews?
Yeah. There's a problem if you don't.
Well, I would spell the Jews, sure.
Really?
Sure.
That's really funny.
You don't like Jews much?
No, I love Jews. I just don't. I'm surprised you don't hate them.
Why would you be surprised that I don't hate them?
It's just because of this shit.
Right, but I just told you that that wasn't Nazi.
I don't get it then, actually. If it's not Nazi, I don't know what it is. So, I mean, you know.
You are familiar with the Nazis, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Squad
Right.
and all that.
Sure.
Definitely.
Right, so it's very publicized what actually stands for them. Those are free. You can take one of those if you want.
Free Bibles?
Sure.
Are these,
You can read it, burn it, do whatever you want with it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually nice of you, because I would burn it.
Okay.
But, I mean, actually, are these New Testament?
Yeah, new and old.
Oh,
It's got both. Right.
So very specifically Christian, yeah?
Yeah, I would say so, because it's not like, well, it's a little bit different than, like, some of the stuff that Catholics have or Mormons or anything like that. Do you need all of them?
Yeah. That's right.
You go right ahead. Alright, now you can leave.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Well, you said I needed all of them.
That's right, but now you can leave.
Can I buy a thing?
Nope. Yeah.
There's not a lot of other weapon shops around here.
No, there isn't. But you see all these cameras around here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're showing already that you're doing what you're doing. So you're more than welcome to leave. I'd like you
I can
to.
go get them.
I'd like you to leave, though.
Do you want those back?
No. If you leave them there, I'll go get them. Otherwise, you can take them with you. I so told you you could have them.
That's actually nice of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Alright. You sure you just like kind of look around a little bit more?
Nope. But you are welcome to leave.
Can I ask about this stuff?
You can ask.
Okay, so what's up with this?
Which one are you pointing at?
Oh, this.
Oh, that right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's from a movie called The Boondock Saints.
Really?
It was bought at Spencer's in the 90s for $20.
Some of the Boondock Saints?
Yep.
What is very tough to say for something?
It means truth and justice.
For whom? No.
For whoever wants it.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoever?
But I think I've entertained you enough. I think you can go.
I think so.
All right.
This is pretty entertaining, thank you.
Yep, have a good day. Holy crap. And I think it's about ready to pick up those Bibles. And now she's throwing them up on the deal. Yeah, my name is Don, and I'm with Private Sector Arms over in West Valencia. I just had somebody who walked in, and they're still outside my store, but they took a big stack of Bibles and started throwing them at the store, and now it's throwing stuff up onto the ceiling, and I think they're coming back.
Fine, right? You said I could do whatever I wanted with them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
3012 Harrison Avenue. I don't know.
Hi. Say hi to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. Oh, I'm not even sure. Young. Yeah. Maybe 20s.
30s.
About 6 foot. Heavy. Black.
I'm not black.
Yep. Nope. But I've asked her to leave several times, and she's still in here. So.
Well, I was just actually I could ask if we could.
Wants to know if you've been drinking or doing any drugs. No.
Just wanted to ask if I could throw these at their group.
No, you can't throw them at the building.
Told me I could do anything.
Okay. Yeah. But you know what? You're being violent, and I'm asking you to leave. And you're dressed like some weird Antifa freak. Okay? I was totally polite to you.
I'm not Antifa.
Well, I was totally polite to you, and now you're engaging in combative acts. It's ridiculous. If you want them, go read them. That's fine.
Well, no,
but you can't go back. You can't take them outside and throw them against the place of
I
business.
wasn't trying to throw them against them. I was trying to throw them on the roof.
You were trying to throw them on the roof. That makes it so much better. That's ridiculous.
Well, I thought it was okay to
Have a
do
little
that.
respect for your community, even.
Okay, I do have respect for my community.
Really? That's why you came in and called me a Nazi and asked me if I sold guns at kites?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm just wondering why I can't throw them at the roof.
I've asked you to leave a lot of times, and you're not leaving
I
them.
mean, I'm happy to. I'm just like...
You're not happy to. You're still standing here talking.
Sorry. You're right. So that's why I was like wondering if it's like...
No.
That's why I was like, if you said I could do anything I want with them, I mean, you have this flag on your wall, your storefront, I thought it would be like okay. Because it's like, that seems pretty indicative of it being okay.
Because I have a don't tread me flag on this deal?
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, don't tread on me. I should be able to do whatever I want with these because they're free and they're mine, so it's like...
Well, that's not breaking the law. What you're doing is breaking the law.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, he just got him. He just got her outside. Let's go take a closer look, shall we? Yeah, so anyway, comes in and goes, "Does he have a problem with that?" "You sell guns to kites." And I go, what's that? I don't know what that is. She's like, "Well, you're a Nazi, aren't you?" And she started going off about being a Nazi and spouting on this like piece of shit, right? Yeah. And then started telling me that the Gaston flag and the Colonial flag were Nazi flags, apparently. But then after a while, started picking stuff up, grabbed that thing and then slammed it against the glass. And I said, yeah, I go, hold on now, be careful, please. And he goes, "Oh, you don't like me touching your stuff? Why? You don't sell this, you don't do this and that," and just aggro, and then goes over there and goes, "Well, what's this, Bibles?" And I go, "Yeah, they're free, you can take one if you want." "Oh, really? Can I?" I go, "Yeah, you can read it, burn it, whatever, but if you want one, you can have it." And he goes, "How about if I take all of them? I got lots of friends." And I go, "You go right ahead." "Oh, can I do that? Can I take them?" I go, "Yeah, you do whatever you want." And then, okay, so we went outside, started plucking them at the building, throwing them at the other neighbor, throwing them up on the deal. I got it all on camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did she do or do they make any threats or anything?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
No, nothing like, I'm going to do something necessarily bad to you, but a lot of pushing stuff, knocking things.
Anything broken, damaged?
I don't think so. She hit the window. And, I don't know, I heard something crack a little bit, but I don't know.
You want to check for damage real quick?
Yeah, we can look.
Do you want to trespass?
Please.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that she doesn't think she can come back here and do that.
Okay.
But I mean, like, you know, she didn't threaten me she was going to do anything bad to me or anything like that. She just called me a racist and all this other crap that's just mean-spirited, but that's it.
No, that's taken. Okay.
It's all good.
Alright, I'm going to get some paperwork.
Okay.
So let me grab your info real quick. I got it.
Is that going to be, is there, what if any laws did she break or he break or whatever?
None really, just being disorderly.
Is that like kind of a misdemeanor something, or are we not treating it like a crime at this point?
No, not at this point.
Yeah. Well, she came, I suppose I did give her the permission to take the Bibles. Oh yeah, she came in here and she threw something over there into the glass, and then I got it all on tape if you want to watch everything she did.
Well, I thought she came in with the Bibles.
No, I got the Bibles in here. She was the one throwing them at the place after she went outside because she was going to burn them or something else. And she asked me if I sold the whatever, fill in the blank of whatever racial slur because I had Nazi flags on the front of the building. She just got in a whole bunch of Antifa crap. And she's dressed in all black. She's got shit kickers on. I mean, I know what she was here to do. You know?
Okay.
But she didn't do anything as far as, like, physically threaten me or anything like that. So.
Yeah, I could know. I'm going to go fill out that stuff.
Basically, the way the trespass order, to give you a copy if she comes back at all.
Okay.
No question to ask her.
And she goes, yeah. All right. Cool.
Extending a crack in the window.
Yeah. It's all good.
So,
Well, maybe some of that Bible rub off on her hands.
probably not.
No.
You can't read it.
Well, it trigger drops about 150.
Alright, so go ahead and keep this on file, so if they return, give us a call, and we'll come take care of it, okay?
Okay, great.
Any questions for me? Identified as male.
Okay. All right.
Just curious.
And because she kept asking me on the 911 call and I couldn't tell her anything.
Supporting the president. You ain't supporting shit, nigga. Bitch ass motherfucker.
Okay.
It's gonna go great in my fucking fireplace, bitch.
Alright, have fun with it.
And it will be.
Okay. Sally.
Black Lives Matter, and it makes me sad that we're even having that conversation, and that tells me that white leaders in our party have failed. We have to accept that there is prejudice that exists within our own party, and we have to be able to have that conversation. We cannot sweep that under the rug. We cannot continue to hide it. We cannot smash voices down when they are trying to scream, listen to me, you don't get it. I'm a white woman, I don't get it. I am pleased and honored to be here today to have the conversation. I am so excited that we're here, and I am listening because that's my job. My job is to listen to the issues. My job is to listen and be a voice. And my job is to shut other white people down when they want to interrupt. My job is to shut other white people down when they want to say, oh no, I'm not prejudiced. I'm a Democrat. I'm accepting. My job is to make sure that they get that they have privilege. And until we shut our mouths and we listen to those people who don't, and we lift our people up, so that we all have equity in this country, so that we are all fighting alongside each other, so that we are all on the same page, and we clearly get where we're going. We're not going to break through this. This is not just rhetoric. This is life or death. This moment in our country, the Democratic Party has the opportunity to do something different. We have the opportunity to really confront the fact that we have not been in alignment with our values. We've been talking a lot of smack. We need to make sure that our actions and our words and our values all match. And around the issue of race, we are so far out of alignment, I don't even know the way back. But I am listening and I am asking and I am talking to people. I am talking to people of color because you have the answers. You can tell me as a leader what I need to do. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, is continue to have those conversations and continue to talk to people and make sure that every single system in our party is designed to give power back to the people, all people, but especially those people who have been disenfranchised in our country since our country started. So, please, 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 this is a conversation I want to have, and I am from Idaho. We are so white, so white, right? Like, I have been reaching out and trying to connect to anybody of color that I can find to be honest with me. I am not a politician. I am a human being trying to do good work, and I can't do it without y'all. So please, please, please get a hold of me, Sally at wethednc.org. I need schooling, and I depend on you and the people around our community to do that so that I can go school the other white people. We need it.
Thank you. All right.
I want to just say,
Very quickly.
Jamu hit this right on. The thing we're missing in this party is training. We pull people in, they're volunteers, they don't know anything, right? And then we send them out to have conversations with people, hard conversations. We promote them to chair of a party where they have power and they have no clue what they're doing. We have to, at the DNC, provide training. We have to teach them how to communicate, how to be sensitive, and how to shut their mouths if they're white. So, I think I made my point.
I think so.
It's like, you know, this is amazing. This is so sad. These people, this is like hating, this is literally self-hatred is what this is.
I like this. I like your hat.
That's a serious setup right there.
Fuck InfoWars.
Hey, who are you with?
Fuck InfoWars. I'm a social anarchist.
All right, where'd you get all that equipment? Yeah, you're with someone. Nice try, though. Dude, that guy had official equipment. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I know that didn't come from you. I know. I know you don't get that type of equipment when you're independent, buddy. That guy was like seriously paid for, I don't know what that deal was. Seriously, dude, where'd you get all that equipment?
So, do you feel proud of yourself?
About what?
Do you support a racist bigot who
A
wants to
racist-
cut school funding, extracurricular activity? That 14-point deficit is gonna come from somewhere, and it's gonna come right from public education.
Well, we don't like education.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're a fan of
clearly
Betsy
not.
DeVoe.
Right.
You should fucking be ashamed of yourself.
Right.
Betsy DeVoe.
No, I'm right to right rally.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Anybody got a cup of coffee?
Hey!
Anybody got a cup of coffee?
InfoWars has got to go!
Yo, you don't want coffee anywhere.
Fucking pigs, this is waterproof. Motherfucker, I got through Standing Rock with this. I got through Standing Rock. I got hit with a fucking water cannon with this, bitch. What are you talking about?
What they call their newspaper there.
Oh, CNN is being missed.
Is there a police officer anywhere? Hey, I'm following this guy. Let's get this guy arrested. Did you get that on camera?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Daria, let's go.
Oh, look, you're white supremacists right here.
Just follow him, just coyly. So that guy just spit on us, so we're gonna follow him and have him arrested. That's fine.
Where do we find cops?
We're just gonna wait till we find a cop.
This guy actually wants a conflict, like a real physical conflict.
Well, I don't really care. I want to wait and have this guy arrested. This guy just spit on us, so I'm gonna wait till a police officer comes here and arrest him. That's fine. That's fine. Here, get these women.
Shame!
5 minutes of hate. 5 minutes of hate.
Shame! Boo! InfoWars! Shame on InfoWars! Shame on InfoWars! Boo! InfoWars!
Hey, get my face. Get my face.
Kill the shit out of you. That is.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I really am.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit, man.
You wouldn't be able to do this in any other country,
You're
dude.
some real broadcast gear, buddy.
Yeah, nobody knows who you are. You're literally a nothing. You're nothing.
I got $60,000 on my stomach right now, bitch. Go get some real gear.
Congratulations to you. You have 0 viewers. You got $60,000, but you have 0 viewers.
Go get some fucking gear. You fucking
Here we go. Hold this.
InfoWars,
Hold this. I'm
bitch.
gonna grab this. Oh, never mind. That's not a police officer.
Pigs.
I'm gonna get this guy arrested.
Shame on you. Shame.
You look at how you're obsessed with me. This guy is obsessed with us.
Shame on you. I'm just gonna keep heckling your fucking live feed. That's what I'm gonna do.
I like that. I actually like that.
Man. Shame on you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shame on you.
Thank you.
InfoWars
Yes.
right there.
I'm an animal.
Oh.
Yeah, you're really doing a great job raising your daughters in a world of lies.
Yeah, you're doing a really great job. You're doing a really great job. You're doing a really great job.
That talks about
You're doing such
humanoids.
Yeah,
It
humanoid.
talks about
Can you explain to me what a humanoid is? What is a humanoid? No, I'm asking the InfoWars man. What is a humanoid?
You.
What is a humanoid?
I would say
What
probably
is the
you.
definition of a humanoid?
Someone like you.
What is the definition of a humanoid?
An ignorant dumbass like you.
An ignorant dumbass like me. Do you know what ignorant means? Ignorant means unaware of knowledge or lacking of a comprehensive attention. I'm asking you what that is.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're just a drunk.
Look at this fucking guy. Now he wants to get loud because he's getting pissed.
I'm so mad.
Fuck you.
Oh, look at how mad I am.
Infowar pig. Fuck you.
I feel bad for you.
Fuck you. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for your.
Look at you. You're literally foaming at the mouth.
I feel bad for your children.
You look like a rabid dog.
Foam at the mouth because people like you are fucking pigs, and you're everything that's wrong with America. You fucking pigs. Fuck you. Fuck Infowars. Fuck your followers. Fuck all you Zion pigs. Fuck all you racist pigs. Fuck all you pieces of shit.
You're sad.
Fuck Info. You're fucking sad. Look at you. Look at you, you piece of shit. You can't even tell me the definition of a fucking word. You uneducated motherfucker. I got a degree in fucking engineering. I got an
No, you don't.
right here.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have a degree in shit.
Fuck you. Fuck
You're a fake poser.
you, pig.
You're a poser.
Fuck true fascist. You're a fucking fascist pig.
Hold this. Hold this.
Mic check. We choose to protest. Male supremacy. Not give it. A platform. Christina Summers has repeatedly delegitimized the suffering of women. Worldwide. But we believe our siblings and our comrades. Women are not liars with victim mentalities. Rape culture is not a myth. Microaggressions are real. The gender gauge gap is real. Trans people are real. Trans lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yeah.
Okay, check.
We can't leave.
So,
Are you done?
like,
It's okay.
What side are you on, friends? What side are you on? What side are you on, friends? What side are you on? No platform for fascists, no platform at all. And we will fight for justice till Christina's gone. Which side are you on, friends? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, friends? Which side are you on?
All right, are you finished? Because I think the rest of the audience would like to hear what I have to say. So can you be quiet for a while? And then we can debate and reason together. How about that? Said, yes. A poll in Britain showed 8%. Now the question is, why would a movement that represents the history of women's liberation, why do so few identify with the name? It's very frustrating.
Can you just answer her question if you want engagement?
I want to be able to give my piece, and then
You gave some peace, and
You're
she wants to
embarrassing
respond
our
to
law
it.
school.
you are embarrassing people.
You're embarrassing our law school and our student body.
You're embarrassing us. She asked for engagement. Answer the student's question about what you just said.
It's fairly common to have the speech and then have the Q&A after, so this is not out of the ordinary.
How's it a balanced discussion? How's it a balanced debate if you're not answering her question?
You can't talk until you heard what she had to say.
We've heard it. It's not like she's a myth. We've heard her speak before.
You heard 5 minutes.
YouTube channel.
I'd answer them.
This is a forum in which this is not unusual.
Okay, appreciate you, man. I don't care for your opinion, though. Appreciate you. I don't care for their opinion.
Why?
So then if I was intoxicated during my sexual assault, but I was not incapacitated, does that mean it was okay for the guy to force my head in his lap?
That's different. You did not listen.
That's what you just said.
No, you did not. No, I said that when they are studying and asking questions, and they're not about force, but if they're asking about force, then of course we would call that assault. But if the only question is, were you intoxicated? We need to know more. That's all. We need to know that if there was force, yes. If there was incapacitation, definitely. If you were just practically blackout, yes. But if you were drunk, maybe. But we need to know more. That's what I said.
Why does that change anything?
Capacity. You should understand it if you're in law school.
Because we can say,
Can we say thank you?
Racism is white supremacy. Yes, if you don't want to believe it, that's cool. Now we know what you believe by being in that room. So that's fine, though.
What do I do like undergrad students posting with
As embarrassing as what's happening with theirs with these university, I think what it does for the nation is show how important we're doing here and how weak people are. So thank you for this call. I think most of us here believe that it's extremely important in everything that we're doing to speak our mind, to speak freely. That's why we're here. But in terms of practicality, there's a lot of things again are in where like some students we have to keep able to report prospecting. So in terms of practicality, what are kind of maybe your tips and your perspective on the steps that students can take to kind of speak their mind while not sacrificing kind of their future prospects?
Well, a couple of things that are very practical. Don't write in your essays what you think the professor wants to hear. There's absolutely no excuse whatsoever for doing that. Now, first of all, most professors, even those who have descended into a state of ideological possession, let's say, most of them still have enough character to grade an essay that's well written properly. So you're actually taking less of a risk than you would think by stating what you have to say. But look, if you start practicing when you were in university, when the stakes are rather low, pandering to the audience, let's say, and saying what you think will
doors and knocking on you. So keep that in mind. It's not amusing. There's nothing to it. There's nothing for it. The thing that's also quite appalling is that there's
You know about the accident event that happened a bit ago, where some people tried to silence me.
put your hands on people. Back away! Back away! Back away!
Fascism, people, watch it. Learn from it. The fascists are here.
Back away!
It's quite good actually. Apparently they're going to knock out. They wanted to knock out the security guards.
Guys, we're ready. Grab him! Don't let him go!
Were you the defense me earlier? Big man!
How you doing, guys?
So I saw in one of the videos that she sent me, you use a video, or are you going to set up?
Oh, you can record yourself, yeah.
No, I mean use a video. No. You use a reference video?
I'm not doing that today. Thank you.
So you have a recording?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not sure what would actually work here. I don't think I need it.
So we're going to ask you please to stay to the side or in the back. The front is reserved for the speakers.
Pursuant to.
I can go get Steve Cass or a DJ. So, is this? I mean, if it is, it's fine. Is this acceptable under rules?
But also, they have like 5 people, so if you don't want to give them an audience, so he doesn't write about our blog tomorrow. So I'd rather not do this. content, even a few minutes. So just giving you that choice. Some of us are just going to be outside
You all right? Just let me know when you're ready, okay?
What's that?
Let me know when you're ready and I'll give a brief introduction.
Whatever you want, yeah.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Okay.
And all 7 of you that showed up. Had to be the white
I don't understand
people.
how CUNY allows this. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
There are students that are directly affected by
This is really a
fucking views.
Legal objectivity is a myth.
You still have an opportunity to leave.
And also it's not ready. So thank you guys for coming. I'm here to introduce Professor Josh Blackman from the South Texas College of Law. He's here today to discuss the topic of freedom of speech within the context of university.
I don't understand.
Professor Blackman has written numerous articles on numerous constitutional topics, and he's given this speech many times before. And so, Professor Blackman, everyone.
He's filming us, just so everyone's aware, he's filming us. He's filming us.
Well, thank you very much to CUNY for having me. It's a pleasure.
White men and those who support white supremacy.
I'm not white. I'm not white.
Then why said those who support white supremacy?
Excuse me, I think it was already explained to y'all that you're not supposed to interrupt the speaker once he starts.
All right, listen. Everybody stop. Let me tell you something. The university rules are people get to speak. You may protest. You may protest, but you may not keep anyone from speaking. If you do, I have other things to do. I will be back. Or you can resolve this yourself. Or you can have me resolve it.
Why are you bringing racism into your school? Can you answer that?
Why haven't you provided support for students who are affected by hate speech?
You hear me.
You're not children. You can't talk.
Please don't take the bait.
The reason that Trump and Brexit in Britain and all kinds of nativists all over Europe are succeeding is not the triumph of the right, it's the catastrophic failure of the left. It's our fault. We absolutely... My point is not that I've turned to the right or anything like that, or that I'm nice and fluffy and want everybody to be decent. I'm saying, fuck political correctness. Resist. Fight. If you have a point of view, fight it in the proper manner, using democracy as it should be, not channels of education, not language. You know, it's so silly.
But
There's a chess rule, you know. In chess, the best move to play in chess is not the best chess move, it's the move your opponent least wants you to play. At the moment, you're being recruiting sergeants for the right. By annoying and upsetting, and instead of fighting, either fighting or persuading. But political correctness is a middle course that simply doesn't work.
Well, first of all, you said be empirical. Now, empirical, as far as I know, the word means that which can be verified or falsified through the census.
Exactly.
So if we look at it in an objective way, the reality is that people don't have equal access to the means to articulate the very moment you're talking about.
I'm talking about the empirical results of this political attitude.
I understand that, but my point is simply this. I'm suggesting to you that people use the weapons at hand. Now, it was Abraham Joshua Heschel, the rabbi, who said everybody's not guilty, but everybody's responsible. Right? That's a distinction there. Everybody clearly is not guilty, but what's interesting, look at the flip side. If you have benefited from 300 years of holding people in servitude, thinking that you did it all on your own. Why can't these people work harder? Let me see, for 300 years, you ain't had no job. So the reality is, for 300 years, you hold people in the bands. You hold them in subordination. You refuse to give them rights. Then all of a sudden, you free them and say you're now individuals. Not having the skills, not having the skills. I'm talking about America, first of all. I'm talking about American society, first of all. I'm talking about the Northern Hemisphere. I'm talking about every society where enslavement has existed, but I'm speaking specifically of the repudiation of individual rights among people of color in America who were denied the opportunity to be individuals. So I obviously and ideally, and I think Michelle Goldberg does too, agree with the emphasis on individuals. What we're saying to you is that we have not been permitted to be individuals. We have not been permitted to exercise our individual autonomy and authority, and the refusal to do so, to recognize me as an individual, means when you roll up on me and I'm a 12-year-old boy in a park and you shoot first, in ways you do to black kids that you don't do to white kids, you are not treating that person as an individual. If we're living in a society where women are subject to aberrant forms of horrid, patriarchal, sexist, and misogynist behavior, you are not acknowledging the centrality of the individuality of women. You are treating them according to a group dynamic. And if we get beyond the ability of people on the right to understand the degree to which they have operated from the basis of benefit from group identity without having said, I'll end by saying this. The great American philosopher Beyonce Knowles said that it has been said that racism is so American that if you challenge racism, you look like you're challenging America. We are challenging inequality. We are challenging the refusal to see me as an individual. When we overcome that, have at it, we're all on equal plane.
I think it's fine. I think it's good. The pot is getting stirred here.
So I've got a couple of questions.
So let's your side spoke, so I'm going to go to Jordan, then to you,
Let's
Michelle.
assume for a moment that I've benefited from my white privilege. Okay, so let's assume that. That's fine.
Assumption.
That's what you would say. So, so let's say, here, let's get precise about this, okay?
Was that very individual of you?
Let's get precise about this, okay?
Let's get precise.
To what degree is my present level of attainment or achievement a consequence of my white privilege? And I don't mean sort of. I mean, do you mean 5%? Do you mean 15%? Do you mean 25%? Do you mean 75%? And what do you propose I do about it? How about a tax? How about a tax that's like specialized for me so that I can account for my damn privilege, so that I can stop hearing about it? Now, let's get precise about one other thing, okay? We'll get precise about one other thing. Now,
precise?
Yeah, precise, yes. And so, if we can agree, and we haven't, that the left can go too far, which it clearly can, then how would my worthy opponents precisely define when the left that they stand for has gone too far? You didn't like equity, equality of outcome. I think that's a great marker. But if you have a better suggestion and won't sidestep the question, so let's figure out how I can dispense with my white privilege, and so that you can tell me when the left has gone too far, since they clearly can. And that's what this debate is about political correctness. It's about the left going too far. And I think it's gone too far in many ways. And I'd like to figure out exactly how and when, so the reasonable left could make its ascendance again and we could quit all this nonsense.
Okay, Michelle, go ahead. Mike, I want to come to you on those, great, Michelle, on Jordan's point about how does he, in a sense, get an equal voice in this debate back if it is implied that his participation brings with it this baggage of white privilege that doesn't allow him to see clearly the issues that are before us.
But that is to be complicit in the very problem itself terminologically. You're beginning at a point that's already productive and controversial. You're saying, how can he get his equality back? Who are you talking about? Jordan Peterson, trending #1 on Twitter? Jordan Peterson, with an international bestseller? I want him to tweet something out about me in my book. Jordan Peterson, right? This is what I'm saying to you. Why the rage, bruh? You're doing well, but you're a mean, mad white man. And you're going to get us right. And I have never seen so much wine and snowflaking. There's enough wine in here to start a vineyard. And what I'm saying to you empirically and precisely, when you ask the question about white privilege, the fact that you ask it in the way you did, dismissive, pseudoscientific, non-empirical, and without justification, the truth is that white privilege doesn't act according to quantifiable segments. It's about the degree to which we are willing as a society to grapple with the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality upon which it's based. Number two, what's interesting to me, you're talking about not having a collective identity. What do you call a nation? Are you Canadian? Are you Canadian by yourself? Are you an individual, or are you part of a group? When America formed its union, it did so in opposition to another group. So the reality is that those who are part of group identities in politics deny the legitimacy and validity of those groups and the fact that they have been created thusly, and then have resentment against others. All I'm asking for is the opportunity. The quotation you talk about, the difference between equality of outcome and equality of opportunity, that's a staid and retried argument, hackneyed phrase, derived from the halcyon days of the debate over affirmative action. Are you looking for outcomes that can be determined equally, or are you looking for opportunity? If you free a person after a whole long time of oppression and say now you are free to survive, if you have no skills, if you have no quantifiable means of existence, what you have done is liberated them into oppression. And all I'm suggesting to you, Lyndon Baines Johnson, one of our great presidents, said, if you start a man in a race 100 years behind, it is awfully difficult to catch up. So I don't think Jordan Peterson is suffering from anything except an exaggerated sense of entitlement and resentment, and his own privilege is invisible to him, and it's manifest with lethal intensity and ferocity right here on stage.
Jordan, I'm going to have to let you respond to that if you will.
Well, what I derive from that series of rebuttals, let's say, is twofold. The first is that saying that the radical left goes too far when they engage in violence is not a sufficient response by any stretch of the imagination, because there are sets of ideas in radical leftist thinking that led to the catastrophes of the 20th century, and that was at the level of idea, not at the level of violent action. It's a very straightforward thing to say you're against violence. It's like being against poverty. It's like, you know, generically speaking, decent people are against poverty and violence. It doesn't address the issue in the least. And with regards to my privilege or lack thereof, I mean, I'm not making the case that I haven't had advantages in my life and disadvantages in my life like most people. You don't know anything about my background or where I came from, and it doesn't matter to you because fundamentally I'm a mean white man. That's a hell of a thing to say in a debate.
You know what's better for people? Fucking cheap labor. That's how you get cheap shit. You pay nothing. Film it, bro. Film it.
I'm filming it.
Yeah, bro. That's how do you get cheap shit, bro? Who's labor? Who's labor?
No, I'm agreeing with you. Like, in
Bro,
Guatemala.
if you're agreeing with me, then I'm gonna just have this conversation with these two who are now okay.
No,
okay?
but I agree with you, but I disagree with you.
Then why are you
Let's
interrupting
take
me?
a shift of perspective.
You've literally been
Why
putting
are
words
you?
into
I'm
our
gonna.
mouth.
I'm not. Hold on, 1 second. Why are you?
We were very disrespectful with Latin American communities, right? We supported Boris Mahat in Guatemala. That led to thousands of genocide of minds. That's 100% true. We threw our support behind that. But what they're saying is also kind of right. Why don't we take a shift and look at other communist nations that haven't done so well in the USSR?
Cuba
right?
has done great.
What?
They've been doing great for their people. They have like 99% literacy. They have fucking their own health brigades that come out and have Latin America. Who was there in Puerto Rico? Who was there in Puerto Rico? Who was there and not the U.S.?
So much
It's
so
our
for
fucking
liberal
colony.
tolerance.
The U.S. has a fucking colony in Puerto Rico, and we couldn't even show up for that. How many fucking people died for Puerto Rico? How many fucking people died for Puerto Rico? On the fucking
We'll get the scoop from Holden after.
And who wants to go fucking help them? Cuba? Who wants to fucking help? The health brigades? Who wants to fucking help?
Well, it's
We
because
didn't
of
help
that. Can you
our
record that
fucking
shit for me,
colony.
please?
What about the
I need to call the conversation.
Tell me
I'll leave that
about
video later,
America.
okay?
We have a fucking colony. What happened to Puerto Rico?
Have you heard of Venezuela?
Have you heard of Puerto Rico? Have you heard of Puerto Rico? Have you heard of Nicaragua? Have you heard, bro? Yeah, this is crazy. Oh my god. Oh shit. No,
What brings you guys out here? Animal liberation. Animal liberation, by what means? Please explain.
We believe that all humans, all genders, all equality for animals, humans, for everybody. Everyone deserves equal rights.
You know what happens to a dairy cow? She lives 4 years, okay, at most. She's milked every day. She's raped on a rape rack, and her babies are taken from her, okay?
There was a time in history when that was necessary, but that time has passed. With grocery stores, with trucks, with all the access we have to food at this point, we can live very healthy lives without eating them. So if we can get all the nutrients we need without causing suffering, I think that's something we should do.
Why are you doing that?
No comment.
Okay, well, this guy's putting his horn while I'm trying to talk to you. Sorry about that, sir. That's pretty rude.
Does white privilege exist?
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely.
And where's the proof of that?
All around. You know, I tell people often now, in hindsight, one of the things that I wish I would have been more cognizant of was the white privilege at UCLA that was sitting, you know, right next to me. For Black people, I believe white privilege is something to leverage.
What is it though? I don't see it anywhere. What is it? What is it?
How don't you
For
not
people
see
like
white
me
privilege?
who don't see it.
How do you not? How do you not see white privilege?
Because it doesn't exist. That's
Yes,
what
it does.
So what is it exactly?
I believe white privilege is just the ability just to be free and white and not have the same type of social, economic, and social ills as Black people have to deal with. I mean, there's no white racial profiling. White people don't get pulled over by the cops just because they're white. They have the ability to, you know, show emotion and love to their sons without being emasculated. There's all kind of examples
That's
of
amazing
white privilege.
that you believe that.
Absolutely. Why don't you Black? How come you don't believe white privilege exists? What you see?
Well, because I you know, I am Black in color, but I don't have that dark mentality that most Black people have.
Clearly.
I see, she said clearly, I see that white people have the same struggles and things that we have in that
What type of
they have
struggles
to
do they
make their
have?
marriages work. They have to make their children, help their kids grow up in the right way so that they can earn a living and be independent.
But they also have the majority
They
of their
make
fathers
kids,
at home.
Right,
We don't
and the
have-
reason for that, it's starting to change somewhat now, but the reason for that is because they are taking responsibility for that, whereas Black men and women are not taking responsibility for that, as they did prior to the Civil Rights Movement. Black people are blaming it on their lack of self-control and self-containment. They're blaming it on white people, while white people are working hard to keep it going.
I do
for
believe
themselves.
that there is a need for Black people to be held more accountable.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't excuse racism, that doesn't excuse institutionalized racism, that doesn't excuse...
But there's no
that-
such thing
Yes,
as that.
yes,
It's
it
an illusion
is.
made
No,
up
it's
by
not.
Black people and
No,
their
it's
leaders.
not. No, it's not. It exists.
Well,
Sorry.
where's the proof of it though?
What do you mean, where's the proof of it?
There are many kids who are getting into, Black kids who are allowed to get into these universities around the country, right, based on affirmative action. And because of affirmative action based on their color. That's discrimination based on color, and that's wrong. And these kids are getting in, but they're not earning their way, so when they fail, they feel less than before they were allowed to get in based on color.
I'm a proud product of affirmative action. When I went to UCLA, it was because I was an affirmative action student.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I think I turned out fantastic. So a lot of my peers who were having challenges getting into some of these predominantly white institutions, the affirmative action was great. My father went to Harvard. You know, he was one of very few Blacks.
Was he affirmative action person?
I don't know if he was. That was back in the late 60s.
Well,
I don't
then
know.
he wasn't. He
Okay.
earned his way.
So, that being said, I still believe that affirmative action helped me get into UCLA, and it gave me access
You would
and
not have
exposure.
gotten in there on your own because you were not smart enough?
I don't know if I wasn't smart enough, but based on the curve and what I was competing with you know, other individuals who had different educational opportunities and teachers. I mean, I'm coming from, you know, the LA Unified School District. I mean, so at the time, I think LAUSD was still pretty good. But I went to all white schools from high school up
So you
through
got
college.
a good education. Why couldn't you get into the school based on your own talent?
I don't know. Maybe because I didn't have some of the opportunity.
But you
first
had
of all,
the opportunity.
No, well, first of all,
you had the same opportunity
SAT,
those white kids were having.
Not necessarily. I had different teachers. I had different
So you
resources.
went to a white integrated school.
I'm talking about
mostly
going
white.
into these other into UCLA. I still had to be able to deal with some of the issues and going to predominantly white schools.
Like
but
what?
I still had to be able to compete.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what?
Some of the issues going to a predominantly
I would graduate from University High School, and at the time they didn't have an African American student union.
An African American student union?
At the school.
Well, that's a good thing.
They didn't have one.
That's a good thing.
Why?
Why do you need something like that?
But they have Asian student unions. They have Jewish student unions. They have all kind of different.
Did they have
student
white
unions.
student union?
They need student union. They own the whole school. So
but the kids didn't own the school. The kids didn't.
But I'm saying there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a segregated, population of students who just want to study together, or work together, or to be able to.
Would you be in support of a white student union?
Yeah, of course.
It would be okay with you?
Yeah, why not?
But most blacks don't feel that way.
I think all cultures should be able to segregate and to be able to work within their cultures and network within their own cultures. Absolutely.
Does racism exist?
I believe racism does exist.
And where's the proof of that?
You just see it all over in the country. We're proof of it. In terms
What-
of just
what do I see?
Disproportionate in the economics with black people.
But that has nothing to do with racism.
It does. Racism is about power. It's about who's in control. And black people can't be racist because we're not in control. We're not in control of the educational system, some of the social organizations and things that run this country. We're not in control. Racism is about power.
But you would
What
be
race
in
is
control of your own life if you had good parents, if they taught you how to be independent, if they taught you how to build, how to take care of. I've noticed that the reason I left where I lived over there in the Crenshaw district is that once the white people left, because once I moved there, when I first moved there, it was mostly whites. But once they left, as they did in Gary, Indiana, and other places, the blacks turned it into a ghetto. A beautiful area went to hell in a handbasket, so I got out. But if blacks had more character and they were taking care of themselves and being responsible and buying land and teaching their children,
that has to be taught.
Then so that has nothing to do with racism.
But that has to, of course, that has to be taught.
So it's not racist. It's not white people's fault that you're not teaching your children to do that.
No, but it's not. If the parents don't know.
They don't know.
But
But that's not white people's fault, though.
But if they go into some of these institutions, these predominantly white institutions, they are targeted. They don't have the same opportunities because of their color. It's true. I mean,
so then why go in there then? Why not go to an all-black school if you
some
feel
people
that?
do choose to do that.
I'm sorry?
Some people do choose. That's
Well, why you see a lot of these black kids going to these white universities, and then they force their way in by saying, I need affirmative action. Once they get in, now they crying racism. Why do you want to force your way in with the people you think are your enemies, and you're still complaining once you get there?
I don't think people are forcing their way. Does
They are.
affirmative action even
is
exist?
forced based on color.
Does affirmative action even exist? Are people getting in based on affirmative action?
Yes.
Today,
otherwise they wouldn't be there.
My father passed away when I was 3. There was 4 of us kids within 5 years. So my mom had to raise 4 kids by herself.
My mom was a single mother.
So she raised both of us completely by herself, which is...
I'm sorry.
I don't know how she raised 3 boys on her own with such grace.
I've definitely seen her try to juggle both mom, dad, and everything else that she had to be for herself.
She did all of it, and she did it all as though she was 2 people.
But she was tough, huh? She was not a joke.
Say our car broke down. Oh, well, that's the alternator.
She was like, when you punch, she's like, you put your knuckle out and you just go for it. I mean, I don't even know if that's a thing.
Even like opposite of her toughness, it was something very fragile, you know?
Anything that needs help, a person, a thing, an animal, she will find it and she will nurse it back to health. That's my mom.
Always very affectionate, very hugging and kissing and all of that. It was always nothing but love.
she really is like the most amazing mother, but she was really an incredible father. Like truly incredible.
Mom, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm thankful for everything you've done for me. Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Mamá, feliz Día del Padre.
Hi, Mom. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Mama.
Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Oh, Mom. Happy Father's Day.
Hello, my name is Ashita. I'm a big girl.
Hi, I'm Puneet. I love playing cricket.
My name is Simrita. I want to become a fashion designer.
Hi, I'm Akash. I live with my dad. I paint a lot.
My dad was actually the first one who saw this potential in me. My dad is very good with the off-spin.
Dad says, paint, paint. Don't worry if your clothes get dirty.
Cricket is my passion. Plus, cricket is also very popular with the girls.
Dad works till late, but dinner is always home cooked.
You know, my dad is my fashion guru. We shop till we drop.
The other day I was trying to shave my beard for the first time. Disaster.
My dad has the best heels. Because my dad mostly wears heels only.
My dad walked in and said, relax. I've been shaving my legs for over a decade now. I can show you how to shave your beard.
Sometimes I don't mind if I have to stay with grandma and dad goes for shopping with girls. It's okay. Every month, Dada goes to the beauty parlor.
You want to meet my dad?
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 See? My dad taught me how to shave.
See, I told you my dad loves shopping.
I told you, my dad wears heels.
Dada loves going to the beauty parlor. Huh?
Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Happy Father's Day, Mama.
Stephanie Piccone with that report, but let's turn now to the push to rename Father's Day Special Persons Day so children without a dad aren't offended. A growing number of politically correct schools and kindies are embracing the name change, but they're copping a lot of criticism for it. Now, earlier I spoke with Dr. Red Ruby Scarlett, a university academic and convener of the Social Justice in Early Childhood activist group. Well, Red, firstly, thank you very much for your time. Look, what is the argument for having Special Persons Day rather than Father's Day?
Thank you for having me as well. If we think about children's rights and how they get to participate in a community and feel a sense of belonging, sometimes shifting the language around those emotive and important days can be significant and more inclusive than the current way that we describe them.
So is it essentially, though, for children who don't have a dad for whatever reason?
Yes, but also there are children who have a dad who also have a grandfather and also have an auntie and also have other kinds of relatives. There are also a huge range of different family structures. So we have single parent families, satellite families, extended families, lesbian and gay families.
What feedback are you getting from parents and teachers who have introduced these Special Persons Days?
There's a range of different communities across Australia, and I've actually been talking with them over the last couple of days since this has been in the media. And essentially what happens in early childhood is they work very closely with their communities and they negotiate these kinds of emotive and special family events with the families who are attending the centre. So there's quite a lot of input, and I think the conversation or the argument, as you'd said from the get-go, maybe isn't so much about the educators and the families. I'm wondering whether it's people who care about children and worry that they won't have these significant family days and celebrations in their educational settings, but perhaps they don't quite know the context of what's happening in those particular communities.
But there has been a backlash.
There has been a backlash, but the backlash hasn't necessarily come from families in those communities. It's people outside those particular contexts.
Your activist group is social justice in early childhood. Why is social justice important for little kids?
There's a lot of Australian research that has actually informed a lot of international research, teacher research, for example, that has demonstrated children's capacity to be really inclusive once they know about these ideas and they think, wow, why are people seeing this as a controversy? Why are we calling this political correctness when in fact it's about our rights?
OK, Red, and before we do let you go, people will be wondering, I am anyway, is Red Ruby Scarlett your real name?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Dr. Scarlett, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'm Calvin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're in New York City with the 4th of July coming up, talking to college students about whether they're proud to be an American. What will they have to say? Let's find out. Do you consider yourself today proud to be an American?
Oh boy, that's a tough question.
No.
No, not in the America we have right now. No, I'm not proud.
No.
Are you proud to be an American?
Definitely not.
No, I'm not proud of America. I'm not proud of what we've done.
Would you consider yourself proud to be an American?
I'm gonna go with no, especially like recently.
At the end of the day, I guess I would say no.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm proud.
I think we need to stop thinking that we're the best nation on earth because that's just egotistical and it's not accurate.
We're pretty great though.
We're close.
Things that are America, like I don't want to associate myself with.
Patriotic views about America, when it really comes down to it, I feel like it's more just like a tool to be used to get people to join the army.
And what about America right now would you consider yourself not proud of?
I mean, I think the answer is pretty obvious. Just look at the news. There's a plethora of things that are going wrong.
Orphan border issues.
Okay. Got it. So were you not proud when Obama did it 5 years ago?
I think that it's different now.
A lot of the not proud of being an American comes from like the history of the U.S.
Any places that come to mind that would be better?
Better than the U.S., probably some nice little socialist country in Europe.
If we change presidents, then I would be proud.
And there's an America that we can make that will be great.
Yeah.
And so I believe.
Are you saying make America great again?
No.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that the Supreme Court right now is like really scary. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I'm genuinely scared.
Were you concerned when President Obama filled the Supreme Court vacancies in the election year?
No.
In the past, were you proud to be an American, and what made you more proud then?
I guess it was just ignorance. I had no idea how many people in this country were so far right and discriminatory. And
I would first of all reverse everything Trump has done, every executive action. I'd reverse everything he's done right now.
Okay. Would that crash the economy though? Things are going pretty well right now in the economy.
Those are like pretty longitudinal. I don't think anything beneficial has been his doing at all.
What could be done to make you proud of your country?
I'd like, people to be able to express their identities and be themselves without having to deal with prejudice and,
Is there a law for that though?
There could be. There are laws that could help with that.
What do you think about the immigration policy in our country right now under President Trump?
I can tell you he doesn't have one. He's just playing it by his own ear, his forefathers' ears. If I were him, I'd seek out another job because he's a temporary employee like the rest of us.
All right, so these pictures have been surfacing in the media a lot about the children in the detention centers. They're in chain link fences, they got foil blankets on them.
That should have happened. When they did what they were doing at Guantanamo, they should have let people know what's going on there. That woman that died, got shot in the head, it takes a talented eye to shoot for mass, and it takes an even better eye to shoot for someone's head.
Okay, going back to this though, do you think that this is solely President Trump's fault?
Oh, of course it's his fault.
All right.
Because he could change policy anytime he wants to, but instead he's busy blowing up Twitter with BS.
What if I told you that these are from the 2014 Obama administration?
You know what? He had people up under him. He had plenty of people up under him. You can't go for the mountain when you got all the ground below you.
But you're saying that this is all Trump's fault, but this has been going on since Bill Clinton.
But you know what? This is what I'm saying to you today. It can't happen what happened back then. You take care of what's current. The current is that the current administration could take care of this in a snap.
Well, just the whole concept of shutting down our borders from people that need our help is repulsive to me.
But we're not shutting down our borders, we're just stopping illegal immigration into our country.
We need illegal immigrants in our country.
Why? I mean,
Because
okay.
we need to be compassionate to people that need our help. It's a unique problem that has to be dealt with. I understand that, but at the same point in time, the zero tolerance policy is unacceptable.
Did you know that there's been a 310% increase in the number of human trafficking victims coming from the border into our country?
Human trafficking?
Yes, people are coming from the border. In many cases, the parents of the children coming from the border aren't necessarily the real parents of the children at all, and they don't have documentation proving that they are their kids.
It's kind of like the welfare system. Just because some people abuse it doesn't mean you shut the whole thing down.
It's just something that bothered me after I left, man. Like these pictures right here, that's good. I'm glad you're out here showing people and you're making it apparent for people. But don't bullshit with people. Like if you're gonna show these pictures, lead with, hey, these are some Obama era pictures. I don't know where this is at. They don't have any context with them.
But the point that I was trying to make, sir, is that the mainstream media is trying to demonize Trump a lot. They're trying to equate those to Trump. Nobody wants to talk about Bill Clinton or Obama. I'm not trying to trip people up. I'm trying to show people that the mainstream media is very biased and they're trying to make Trump look a specific way.
That's perfectly fine. But don't try to trip people up. If you want to tell people that these are Obama pictures, Obama era pictures, just lead with that. Don't try to trip people up.
I'm Calvin Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're in New York City talking to students about President Trump's Supreme Court pick. The only thing is he hasn't made that pick yet. Will people still have opinions on who it was though? Let's find out. I think the big thing that's been in the news today, Supreme Court, Justice Kennedy stepping down. So there's a vacancy. All week people were worried about who it was going to be. This week he made his announcement. What's your reaction to the justice that he nominated today?
I'm honestly not surprised by his choice, but that's just worse for us.
I just saw the pick and I was like, it's almost at a point where you kind of expect that it's not going to be what you want.
He's quite, extreme in his views, and I don't know if it would make the Supreme Court very even.
I see it all over the news that he's racist and shit.
This new nominee is very racist, and I think it's starting a new wave of something very negative, and I'm really scared about what happens in the future and what choices he'll make.
And so what reaction have you seen on social media today after the news?
Oh, outrage, as it should be.
This is just a reoccurring thing. He keeps doing this with different positions and just doing whatever he wants, abusing his power.
And do you feel like his pick is an abuse of power?
Basically, yeah.
His entire cabinet and everyone he's chosen has been the white supremacist Legion of Doom, and it's dangerous to everyone who looks like me.
Do you feel like the Supreme Court nominee today kind of falls in that same line?
Of course. They should all wear white hoods and burn crosses at the Capitol, because that's exactly the move. That's what they're going for.
And the fact that he would put someone up there that is so racist and is not practicing the equality that we need to see, it's insulting, and he's not gonna last. I mean,
So you're not a fan of the pick?
I'm really not.
I did speak to my dad a couple days ago, and I know he was not a huge fan of the decision that he made.
What would be your message to President Trump on what qualities you would want a Supreme Court justice to have?
Black, a black woman.
Is it wrong though to suggest someone be picked just on the color of their skin though?
I mean, but I said black women for a reason. Black women were the only ones who really turned out in full majority to not vote for President Trump.
I think you should just listen to the people, get the opinions of what people actually want.
Do you think President Obama listened to the opinions of the people when he nominated 2 Supreme Court justices?
I was young then, so I can't say that either.
Listen to your people. That's what you were hired to do. You've never been hired to do anything, but...
Didn't they also hire him, though, to nominate Supreme Court justices?
They did.
If you were picking a Supreme Court justice, what qualities would you want them to have?
Someone who's actually just.
I definitely want them to be liberal and look to the views of the minorities. Like, the previous Supreme Court justice was a swing vote. Like, you should have some balance. You shouldn't just be all on one side.
President Obama did pick 2 liberal justices, though.
But now it's all conservative.
really have to just keep getting our voices out there.
Keep resisting.
Really, yeah, we have to. Because, like, obviously if that's his pick, then, like, there's nothing we can truly, like, do as, like, citizens other than, like, really get our voices out there that is not.
Austin, Texas, a city of great coffee, great food, great conversation, and people who want to vandalize our property and see us die. Meet He's just your local transgender juice barista who calls for acts of violence in his spare time. What kinds of acts? Like publicly posting our specific location with calls to visit us, slash our tires, and teach us lessons ensuring that we'll never make ourselves vulnerable again. How do we know that he, she, Z meant business? Because he, she, Z said so while recruiting the same friends who helped him deface the Robert E. Lee statue at UT. Silly. That's a crime too. Hey,
Pretty good.
remember me?
No.
No? You don't remember me at all? Stephen Crowder at all? No, not familiar?
No.
This is you threatening to slash my tires here?
Oh my god, dude. You need
Remember
to
this?
chill out.
Slashing my tires, and actually, funny enough, also the Robert E. Lee statue seems you helped deface.
We're trying to work.
Let me ask you, why do you think it's okay to threaten to slash someone's tires?
Hey, I didn't do it.
Predictable, Z. The first instinct is always denial. But why did you do this, oh man?
Why
You realize that you
don't
put our
use
crew in
what I did
danger.
off?
Lucky for us, we had a Bristol board. How about you check this out here? Before we'll leave this. Yeah, I'm a conservative who has a difference of opinion from you, and I've never threatened actions of violence. I've never threatened to slash anyone's tires.
You need to get out, or we're gonna call the police.
You know what? Let's call the police officers. Because as a matter of fact, we actually have. No, actually, I would like to speak with the police. We're about to file a report very soon.
Okay, you should do that, man.
This is a part of being a man, is owning up to the actions here. When you threaten violence against someone. When you threaten violence against someone, part of being a man is taking ownership of your actions, taking responsibility. Can you understand?
Here, look, I'll help you. I'll take your poster outside for you.
No, I'd like you to keep it here for when the police arrive. But I would love it for when the police arrive, because that's actually evidence, so I'd like to keep it. So where did you put the board?
Absolutely. One of your friends nicely yanked it out of my hands, and he has it outside.
Gosh, so they got slightly Yankee.
So a little Yankee, a little Yankee, a little Yankee, a little Yankee.
Anger in the streets when a kosher cafe opens in Boyle Heights. Neighbors want it shut down. The LAPD kept protesters back as demonstrators shouted at people at the grand opening.
And they're not just angry over gentrification, it's the owners' views that also have them riled up. KCAL 9's Dave Lopez is live in Boyle Heights with details on the controversy. Dave?
Well, standing in front of this cafe, the man who owns this is an immigrant. He has a number of companies, very successful businessman. Of his 70 employees, he told me that nearly all of them are immigrants. He also said he supports Trump and his immigration policies, and because he posted that, well, that's where all the problems started.
So what's the connection? This is what I don't understand. I'm confused. The connection between Donald Trump and a good coffee.
30 years ago, Asher Shalom immigrated from his native Israel to the United States. He told me he cried like a baby when he became a U.S. citizen. And he also said he supports Donald Trump and his immigration policies. And he can't understand why that's so wrong.
Everything changed in one day.
He was all set for a grand opening of his new kosher cafe in Boyle Heights, not far from downtown Los Angeles. The Boyle Heights Chamber of Commerce had invited him to be a member. They were going to be there to help celebrate. Then he got this email from the chamber president, Jennifer Lahuda, saying that because he posted this on his Facebook page, they called it an anti-immigrant posting, he could no longer be a member of the chamber. They weren't going to show up at the grand opening. And then a group known as Defend Boyle Heights started posting on their social media what was happening, and they called for a boycott. A big boycott.
So now we have a full line of police here at Asher Cafe.
It was very scary. There was a lot of people protesting outside, wearing masks.
They really intensely protested and accosted all the visitors that came to our grand opening event.
And they threw a significant amount of feces at our windows.
Shalom says all because he expressed on social media his opinion about Trump and immigrants.
I don't think politics should get in the way of good food. I support him in that I will come and give him my business.
This is part of what the chamber wrote to Shalom. Boyle Heights thrives because of our diverse immigrant population. The chamber will always celebrate and support this fact. We will not support anyone who chooses to conduct themselves in a hateful manner, especially towards members of our community.
Nothing true.
Shalom is a respected businessman who has been honored by both the city and the county for his generous works.
My last name is Shalom, and I love peace.
We reached out to both organizations, Defend Boyle Heights and the Chamber, and we were told very, very strongly that neither organization would go on camera to make any comments.
Well, the age of baby boys and baby girls appears to have come to a close. The most avant-garde parents are now raising babies. They don't have a gender. How does that work? Liberal Sherpa Kathy Aru, of course, knows the answer. She joins us next. Having a baby used to be a straightforward proposition. You could have a boy or you could have a girl. But now there's a third option. It's called steep civilizational decline. A handful of parents across America are deliberately keeping their children's sex hidden and instead raising so-called babies. The idea is that only the children themselves should be able to decide whether they are boys or girls without any of that pesky biological reality getting in the way. It's all very confusing, like a lot of 2018 is. So, of course, we called in our interpreter of all things progressive, our liberal Sherpa, Kathy Aru, founding publisher of Catalina Magazine. She joins us tonight. So, Kathy, goes without saying you're for this, of course.
Yep.
But doesn't this mean if you're going to raise a baby, how would you be able to change your child's diaper? Because the second you change the diaper, of course, you'd no longer be able to pretend that there was a question about whether this was a boy or a girl. You would know.
Well, it's not about pretending. The parent definitely knows the gender. It's about not necessarily labeling the baby. It's about allowing the baby to decide what gender that baby wants to be when that baby can decide, which is around 4 years old. So from 0 to 4, the baby will not be labeled. The labeling theory will not apply from 0 to 4 years old. The baby will be a they-be, neither a boy nor a girl. Whatever gender that baby chooses to be.
What other profound life decisions do we think people ought to be making at the age of 4? Are there any others?
Well,
you know, whether to get a tattoo, whether to get married, enlisting in the military, voting, drinking vodka, smoking Marlboro Reds. Is there anything else that we think 4-year-olds are ready to decide?
This isn't actually a profound life decision. I mean, biologically, there's nothing really going on from 0 to 4 in that area that affects a person's life. Biologically, the experts say that boys and girls, all genders are alike. The boy's brain, the male brain might be a little larger. The female's language might be a little bit more advanced.
Okay. No
maybe,
sexism on my show. Hold on. Whoa, slow down. No, here you're out there like
they say maybe
boys' brains are larger. And I just want to say that kind of toxic masculinity has no place in this program. Thank you very much.
But that's all they can think of.
The bottom line is... Yeah, all they can think of, like, difference in brain size, difference in genitalia, difference in bone structure. Just minor things like... Just minor things like that. Not perhaps, like, factually. So those are not minor things. Those are definitive things.
Minor.
So, like, why would you not tell your kids about that? You know, at some point they're going to drop trow and look down and say, wait, we look different. You're going to be like, no, you don't. You're exactly the same.
And
that's lying, isn't it?
That's when the child, they say, is around 4 years old. So around 0 to 4, we're not going to say to a little female, a girl that you're a little princess, or boy, you're such a tiger. The labels are gone. You're not going to put that outside influence on a child. You're just going to be neutral. Everything's going to be neutral.
The outside influence of biological reality. So would you do this with anything else? Would you? But could we decide that we're not going to acknowledge temperature or weather or traffic? And you could just say, you know what? I don't think it's raining outside. Or you can decide whether it's raining outside. I mean, the weatherman says it is, that there's snow on the ground. Or the weather, you know what I mean? The weatherman says that it's 15 degrees out. But I'm going to... You know what I mean? Just kind of make up my own reality.
The parents who are really leading this
we acknowledge biology and nature as real, right?
But the biology, the parents who came out with this, who came out in the New York Times and started this they-be awareness, this gender-neutral awareness for babies, basically said, why should people be so obsessed if your baby is going to be a boy or a girl? Who cares about that area? It's actually a little human. We are bringing a little human into the world. Who cares about the genitalia? Who cares?
May I just suggest why? And this isn't just my opinion, but the opinion of every person who's ever lived going back, let's just say 10,000 years for the sake of neatness. Because men and women are completely different in key ways.
Babies?
Can we not say that anymore?
Babies are different. Babies
Yeah.
aren't different. They're little
they are.
human beings, and there's really not much of a difference between different genders. No. There is no difference. And men and women, we would say, are equal.
I'm trying to laugh so I don't cry. Kathy Aru, you can be equal but different, which they are. Great to see you.
You realize you're an idiot, right?
What did I say that's wrong, sir?
I don't really care what you said that's wrong. My point is that you're an idiot.
So you have no facts to base your statement.
That is absolutely not what I said, and you're distorting it. Infowars sucks.
You called me an idiot for no reason. There he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, there I go.
There he goes. There he goes.
What are you doing?
I'm not going to do anything.
Of course, because you're a coward.
Weren't you about to run away?
No, I was about to leave because I don't really feel like listening to assholes like you.
All right.
You want to put that on the air, put that on the air.
Will do. Will do. Thank you for that content. Don't worry, son. You can do better than your father.
Right here, this is white privilege.
There's slavery going on in Libya.
But we're not in Libya.
And what the fuck have you done about it? What are you doing?
Are you in the U.S. right now?
Right here. You're protesting the most peaceful, free country in the world.
Are you telling me it's peaceful when cops shoot people?
Around my fence. Then why does America have the most amount of people incarcerated across the globe? I agree. We have
So then how can you
drug
call
laws.
it the most free if people that look like me and people that look like her get killed on TV every fucking day?
Are killed in real life?
The people who get murdered look like us. That's why identity is relevant.
White people get murdered. Never? What about those Black Lives Matter protesters who kidnapped the white kid and beat him and tortured him? And it wasn't because he was white? That wasn't because he's white? They said fuck white people, fuck Trump in the video.
I was holding.
Fuck white people.
But that doesn't make them part of the Black Lives Matter so much. That America, we are teenage black.
That's why millions of people try to get in here every year. People try to come to a shithole and pay everybody.
Do you know what
millions of people try to come to a shithole.
And they're still aiming you down? You do know. You do know. No, that's called privilege for your ass, homie. That is privilege. You think you know, you think you're conscious, but you're not. You don't understand. You don't sympathize. You don't empathize.
Yes.
No, you don't know. Don't tell me sympathize. You don't sympathize.
Why are you assuming that?
No, you don't.
Why are you assuming?
Look at your hat. Make America great.
Yes.
Make it great
Why
again.
are you assuming that?
Is it great though? Is it great?
That's why it says again.
No. Was it ever great?
After Jim Crow, yes.
Guys, I'm pretending for y'all privilege.
America was great. We're the most privileged ones here, apparently. That's a fact.
I was holding up this
This
sign.
is wonderful.
I was holding up this sign and the white.
No, I want to hear. I want to hear.
You smile? You must be with that shit. You look like a man. That's how disrespectful I am. That's how disrespectful I am. You talk about disrespect, that's how disrespectful I am. You must be a member. You accept it? Do you accept it? You accept the KKK being here? Him, right? Zoom in on him right here. Zoom in on him right here.
You're gonna say he must be a member? You can say he must be a member, right?
Call me a criminal.
But
Look
no,
at my record though.
no.
Pull my record
But
up and see if I got a criminal record though.
Okay, then see if he's a member.
Nah, they don't. You gotta understand. You gotta understand the KKK do not. They're not gonna be by themselves. They're not gonna be somebody, a member walking around fucking Pentagon City. Oh yeah, I'm a member, or with a flag and shit. They stay in groups.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm by myself right here. I'm not.
Take for instance. Now, has a long and storied history of violence, from simply voicing support for Antifa and the act of punching Nazis, to more emphatic declarative statements, like the fact that we need to, quote, kill every member of ICE. Which could seem hyperbolic, I know, until you see that he doubled down while actively confirming that he would front $500 for anyone who kills a member of ICE. He's wanted a piece of me for a long time. His words. Luckily for me and you, he was staging a protest in Texas with a few attendees. And he was going to make it happen, rain or shine. Except he canceled.
These guys are a disgrace.
Fortunately for us, we had his private phone number because he gave it out publicly on his petition that no one signed. And with some quick thinking and a little super secret spy work.
Hey, is this?
Oh, yeah, so I just canceled the protest. I was messaging a comrade, and, like, she told, like, oh, hey, it's raining a little bit, you can still comment, and she's the one who was like, bro, you know, the weather service just issued severe thunderstorm warning. If you want to meet up, we can meet up, because I got nothing to do tonight.
I don't know the area too well there. Maybe some restaurant or something. Maybe we could, get a beer.
Oh, there's a beer garden nearby.
Beer garden?
All right, man. All right, I'll see you soon, and I'll send you that info.
Okay, see you then.
The meeting was back on. Can't help with the killing of innocent officers, but you've wanted a piece of me for a long time? Well, now you're down to 2 wishes. Your wish is my command, sir. How are you?
Is this Stephen Crowder?
Yeah.
Ah,
I think you want a piece of me for a long time.
Go yourself, you piece of shit.
Hold. Yeah, it's true. He attempted to throw a drink on me, which felt incredibly familiar, but also ill-fitting. Really?
Yeah, go yourself.
Beer? Well,
my friend almost got murdered because
what about asking about kill from ICE? What about asking people to kill members of ICE? How about that? $500 a head? Come on, man, you've been wanting a piece of me for a long time. Is that all you're gonna do is throw some Pilsner? I would never advocate violence. I completely condemn any violence at all. It's not what this is about. Well, I'm flattered that you've wanted a piece of me for a long time. I wanted to know what that was. Is that just talking? Can we have a conversation?
No, sir.
So what did you mean by that? Was it like what you meant with killing members of ICE for $500 a pop?
I mean, I don't recall saying that. But...
You don't? Well, hold on a second. Quarter black, we've got a Bristol board. You want to kill Betsy DeVos, right? Kill ICE, Slytherin, that's glorious. It's always a sign of a tough guy on the internet. Kill ICE, kill every member of ICE, and then that you will help fund $500 for every member of ICE killed. You think that's okay? Because you know I didn't do that. You said a friend almost died because of me. I've never once advocated violence against someone else like this. Matter of fact, I've condemned it. If you just say it was keyboard warrior talk, from wherever you are, a laptop, that's fine. It can be the end of it. Take it down. Take down the threats. Take down the offers to pay people for killing other people, and that'll be it. But if not, we're going to have to file this with the police.
Do it.
Okay, I'm sure they're going to be thrilled to see kill those pigs. $500 a head for ICE. Come on, man. Here's your chance. Everyone's going to see this. Future people hiring you, members of ICE, police officers.
Well, I mean, I guess you all think I'm an unemployed leftist, so it don't matter then.
This week, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo stirred up controversy by saying America has never been great. What do young people think about that claim? Let's find out. Governor Cuomo came out here in New York at an event and said that the slogan "Make America Great Again" is flawed because it implies that America was great at some point. So we've been asking people their take. Do you think America has ever been truly great?
I don't believe America has been great for all folks ever, even today. I would have to agree with Governor Cuomo.
Can you point to a time, or do you think there was a time when America was great?
I mean, not particularly.
The idea that there was a once great America is, pointing towards this false sense of nationalism that, what he's talking about white America, it's not great.
I think it has been great for straight white men for a very long time.
Do you think that there is a time you can point to where America was great?
I don't know, honestly.
That's a good one.
Not great, but there was definitely some progress. And I think we're just going through regression now.
It was never really great, but we do great things sometimes. We fix a lot of problems, but it's never just been wholly great.
Was American exceptionalism taught in the classroom, or do you know what that is?
No, it was not. No, I do not.
Okay. And is that a phrase that you're familiar with?
I've never heard it before.
Okay.
I personally wasn't taught American exceptionalism because I went to a very forward-thinking liberal school here in the city.
I don't think I've heard that term before in class.
Were your professors and your teachers teaching you the idea that America was great and was the best, or was it kind of the opposite?
It's kind of the opposite. All of my history teachers have ignored the fact that they're not supposed to put their political views on us, but they have.
My view of America in school was that it is the greatest thing ever, and then once I guess went to college and learned about other nations, you kind of learn from a different perspective.
So our history, let's see, we go from sort of a native genocide to slavery to slavery by different name to slavery by different name again.
We've never been truly able to practice what we preach.
It's all non-existent fantasy that we're trying to achieve, and what makes America great is it's the melting pot culture. It's the fact that we come from so many different pieces and places, and we're just a conglomerate of things.
Do you think America was ever great to start with?
I do.
Got it.
Yes.
And what time in our history would you point to as America having been great?
It's always been great. Go in the back.
Do you want to talk about your sign?
So it's misogynist, rapist, assholes, because the majority of the MRA are men who are out there abusing women, making excuses for it. Pretty much they're misogynists who are peddling under a false guise of being for men and for male mental health while never actually advocating for it in any way, shape or form. And then this is just the only good fascist is a dead one because the event today is run by two fascist people.
So are you referring to Sydney Watson and Avi Yemeni?
Yeah.
Why do you think that they're fascists?
Because they peddle Islamophobia, all that African gang bullshit. They're running this event, which is clearly very anti-women. If you looked online at all a lot of the men attending this event today were posting in their Make America Great Again hats, threatening to set women on fire, things like that. It was very pleasant of them.
Do you think that there are men's issues that needs to be addressed? Obviously, men's mental health.
Definitely. Male mental health is important to me. I believe it should be addressed. I fight for my male friends every day to be able to express their emotions, but I don't think that a negative patriarchal group like this that enforces toxic masculinity is going to be able to help men to do that.
And masculinity in general, we're masculine. So what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with being masculine if you're doing it in a, no, I said toxic masculinity.
And what's so toxic about this?
This is full of men who have been online threatening to rape.
So obviously your sign says rapist on it. Now obviously I don't think there'd be anyone here who would advocate rape. It's illegal, and rapists are pretty, they're considered pretty low in our society. I mean, it does.
No, they're not. I don't think you're very familiar with rape culture if you haven't seen the way that men in our country do advocate for it. They do very much advocate for rape in this country, and the way women are victim blamed in this country for being raped, the way, she was asking for it, she wanted it, all that kind of thing. It's very much, there would be men in this crowd who have raped, who do rape, and who are advocates of rape.
That's a pretty...
No, how am I going to prove that?
Any claim you want.
It's a pretty serious accusation to generalise about.
1 in 3 women are being sexually assaulted and raped. Statistically, there are men in there who have raped women. That's just a statistic. It makes logical sense. You're not going to have 1 in 3 women, and I would say the number is probably higher. Pretty much every female friend I know has been assaulted or raped in their lifetime. It's not invisible ghosts doing it. It's not magical, secret, creepy men in alleyways. It's our brothers, it's our fathers, it's our uncles, it's our friends. They are out there raping.
Do you worry about false accusations?
No, false accusations count for about 2% of rape allegations, 0.2% kind of thing. They rarely... It's like, you can look it up. It's a statistic. That's like statistic that
Where do you get it
exists.
from?
I don't know,
You just made
online.
it up.
Do you want me to magic some sources? Do you want me to sit here and research? Like, I didn't come with
So
a
you
fucking
didn't research
essay
your argument.
written.
You didn't research your
No,
facts.
I've researched my argument and my facts. I just don't have a fucking essay in my pocket.
No? Okay. Pardon?
Sorry, what's racist? But what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it is what it represents and what you represent.
What is it not okay to be right? To be what?
What was the thing that you said at the Tommy Robinson demonstration? You're the what was it, Lindy?
Yeah, the proudest Jewish
proudest
Nazi.
Jewish Nazi. Was that the thing that you said at the Tommy Robinson demonstration?
Millions in Australia that support Tommy, that support you, that are here to fight the fight together, united. No matter what the left call us, I am the world's proudest Jewish Nazi, and Tommy is my brother.
Sorry. Why? Sorry. Why? What's wrong with this shirt?
What's wrong with this shirt
Is it not okay to be white?
You represent an alt-right movement that attacks.
But I'm not alt-right.
What
this
you're
represents.
wearing right now represents
So-
all of the disgusting racism and bigotry that's growing.
So would it be different if I wore a shirt that said it's okay to be black?
It's the same.
Am I not allowed to
What
be?
you're wearing is the same thing that fascists wore marching through Charlottesville.
But we're not fascists.
And this guy here, hanging out with Tommy Robinson, one of the main representatives of the far right across Europe, you want to go and defend, people that attack people, that organise rallies to attack minorities. Yeah, no, you guys are fucked.
You do realise that Tommy Robinson left the EDL because he saw the rise of the far right within it and he condemned them.
You do realise it's
aggressive tactic to still promote Islamophobia. Like, it's still a tactic.
You guys are still Islamophobes
But-
and racist.
Just please leave campus.
Why should we move away? Why should we move away?
Because we don't want you on our campus.
Well, that's okay. We have the freedom of speech. We have freedom of movement.
However.
Yeah, that's okay. You're perfect. You're perfectly fine to be criticising us.
Students on this campus.
No.
No. Also.
Can I just say something? We're from Australian News Network, and we're interested to hear. We're interested to hear.
But hold on. Sorry. Can I just ask a quick question? Why are we not allowed here?
No, it's not that you're not allowed here. It's what you represent. It's disgusting.
What is it? What that is not okay to be white?
You can come on this campus, but we're
Hey,
going to.
I hate racism. I hate racism.
Oh, you hate racism.
I do.
People that you associate with
handing out
them.
that exact same message
People
on
who
our
are
campus.
denying the
100%
Holocaust
we're
ever
gonna
happened.
do
Guys,
it.
the Holocaust happened.
Yeah, well, the people
Oh, go for it. We're allowed to be here.
people on our campus were handing out
That's who
leaflets
you
that said it's
associate
okay to be
yourself with.
white, and they said
So,
that the Holocaust.
well, they don't represent us.
You're not allowed to be on here if you're spreading hate speech and standing.
But this isn't hate speech. It's just saying that it's okay to be white.
What is hate speech?
How's it hate speech? It's just saying that it's okay. Should I not be?
You're a racist dog.
How are we racist? We've come here to ask questions about the leadership spill.
What are the questions that you're asking?
We were going to ask about the young people's opinions on the outcome of the leadership spill. And what do you think about Scott Morrison? What do you think about who he is?
I just think they're all fucked.
They're all fucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what we've established here is that it's apparently racist to say it's okay to be white. Is that
This T-shirt represents, mate.
this T-shirt
It represents an online movement of people who would attack and hate minorities.
But I don't hate minorities.
You know what people who were marching in Charlottesville said? They also said it's okay to be white.
You mean the group of 20 or so white supremacists that were condemned by the
last
literally
year.
drove down and modded someone. That's the people that you stand by side with when you fucking wear shit like that.
No, I just wear this because I say it's okay to be white. It's okay to be myself. Do you think it's not okay for you?
This is bullshit. It's literally a dog whistle. You guys know what you represent. You guys know who you march with. You guys know who you associate yourselves with. This is all bullshit. You're a bunch of racist fuckheads.
How? Give me one piece of evidence that I'm a
Get
racist.
upset about talking about free speech. We're allowed to use our free speech to call out.
Of course you can, and you're using your free speech.
Yeah,
Of course you can.
We'll continue to every time that you try.
Let me just give you a bit of information. Okay.
Yeah.
Why aren't you brave enough to talk to us and exchange it with us? Don't you wave your hand at me. I wave my hand at you.
When you grow up, Robinson.
When I grow up, you That's right. You just whispered it.
You gotta hold the door, ma'am. You're gonna get arrested.
You just arrested.
Senator, do you believe women?
But still, it's better to be, you want to kill them with kindness, remember?
That's right. What?
They actually had people filming you the whole time.
Cool.
Classic, kill with kindness.
Guess what? Hey.
Distraction of private property. It's against the law.
Somebody gets raped by somebody and they're like, I'm a 16-year-old and I can't have this baby. Think you should keep it?
It's a baby. If someone is raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
I meant to get your phone. Someone call the cops.
Meant to get your phone.
Do not touch me. Someone call the cops.
Hey everyone, this idiot ass is back on campus.
Or that.
How are you?
My name is Daisy and I've been raped.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so are you really going to sit on my campus and tell me that rape culture is a myth today?
Yes.
I don't feel like I need to change your mind because...
Why?
Have you ever been raped?
I've not been raped.
Well, then I mean, can I change your mind by saying I've been raped and a good majority of my friends have been raped, so...
No, that wouldn't be a convincing argument. I am very sorry. No. No, I think the
You think rape culture is a myth?
yes.
Why? Tell me why.
Well, would you like to sit down?
I don't generally consider myself an idiot asshole, but just for her sake, I'll play one on TV. This time I allowed her to assume that I know nothing so that she could teach me.
Thank you.
So I don't know how you have the audacity to come back on our campus and say that rape culture is a myth, because that's personally offensive to a lot of people I know, actually. And so especially the audacity to come here and
The audacity
really
to come here and speak the truth. I have the audacity
and speak the truth.
Yeah.
What the f*** is that?
Yeah.
You know what? How about somebody rapes you and then you come and tell me that rape culture is a myth?
That has nothing to do with what we're
What?
talking about.
How does that have nothing to do with what we're talking about? And I
talking
sit here and told you how empirical data is bullshit because of UCR crime reports.
I don't agree.
You didn't even know what a UCR crime report is.
Second,
Do you even know what NCVS stands for? You tell me that.
Okay, so let's go through statistics.
Okay.
How often do you believe rape occurs? Because again, a rape culture, we both agree. How
See,
often?
I cannot tell you the exact number because as I've repeated to you multiple times that UCR crime reports are simply not accurate. And there are other methods, and it is proven that those are not accurate. We do not have all of those numbers.
We don't have all of those numbers, but we have quite a bit. We have from the FBI, we have from the DOJ.
Yeah, but do you know where the FBI gets those? Is those UCR reports that you didn't know existed. Let the record show he didn't know what a UCR crime report is. I learned that in my intro to criminal justice
So how
class.
often do you think rape occurs? Some kind of evidence to support your premise that rape is tolerated or encouraged in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it is tolerated. I mean, have you seen Brett Kavanaugh? Are you familiar with that situation right now?
Not at all. Enlighten me.
You don't know who Brett Kavanaugh is. This man doesn't know who Brett Kavanaugh is.
No,
and he's going to sit here and tell me that rape culture is a myth. He is currently, Donald Trump is trying to appoint him to the Supreme Court. And the fact that you don't know that shows me that you don't actually really know what's going on in society, because that isn't really into you personally.
None of what you've just said is correct. Does the word hubris mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Thank you.
The fact that did you really think that I didn't know who Brett Kavanaugh was?
I really didn't, honestly. At this point, I'm unsure what you actually know.
Right. Yeah. The whole reason was I was hoping for you to sit down, and you see now, if you go back, every single thing I told you I didn't know, because I wanted you to explain to me. You've explained nothing. You've presented no evidence or data. The only time you've addressed evidence or data is saying that it's bullshit to use your words and it doesn't matter. The amount of rapes matter. The conviction rates matter. What we do with rapists matters. And when you come out and you say we live in a rape culture, and you compare Dr. Christine Ford's allegations, let's say we have no idea whether they're true or not. Zero evidence whatsoever from 35 years ago. You can't run an investigation whether who, what, when, where, or why. We have none of it. To then use that as a springboard to say that we live in a rape culture, I think is intellectually disingenuous, and I think it does a great disservice to people who've actually been the victim of a horrible crime.
Yeah, I'm aware because I've been a victim to that crime, and as you say, you haven't. And like you said, you didn't know what a uniform crime report is, and so maybe if you...
I also said I didn't know who Brett Kavanaugh was.
So, I mean, maybe you do know what that is, so then how can you sit here and tell me that
How can you sit here?
This is all like, these statistics are all 100% correct.
No.
And who the hell let you back on this campus?
It's a public sidewalk.
So nobody invited you here? Officers, if nobody invited him here, can we ask him to leave this campus?
He needs to leave.
Is this being handled? You're a hero? Who the said that? Raise your hand! Raise your hand if you're so f***ing proud of it! Have you ever been raped?
No.
And don't say shit. Then shut the f*** up!
Let me ask you this: have you ever had your house under threat with a bomb threat? You ever had the FBI at your house have to actually circle your house and have armed guards? So the point is, we all have individual experiences, but that does not change the fact of the matter that we do not encourage a rape culture in the United States. Rape is a horrible crime. Let's use Brett Kavanaugh as an example because you brought him up. This is really important. First off, what happened to you? I don't know the story. I don't want you to get into personal details if you're uncomfortable. Horrible, terrible. If that happened, I can't say that it has because I'm not allowed to.
Oh yeah, of course, it probably hasn't.
Well,
so.
no, legally I can't accuse a man of something if he has not been convicted of a crime. I believe you though. I believe you. I'm really
you're
sorry.
Such a good person.
I'm really
God.
sorry that happened to you. But a good example with Brett Kavanaugh. Gang rape. If he raped people, cocked his head back and left, I say that castrate him and give him life. But if it's not true, I feel probably worse for him than any man I can think of in recent memory. The only difference between the two is castrate the man versus empathy is the truth. And I think with all of these arguments,
but
with
so
all
you're
these
just saying
conversations,
this. You don't have the evidence either.
We're trying to seek the truth. I do have
Yeah,
some
but like
evidence.
we don't have the truth, so how can you just say that?
That's a good question.
I'm going to have to interrupt just a minute.
That's a good question.
That would be
That's a good
awesome.
question.
But like, why is he allowed on our campus if this isn't even like an organized event?
Part of this?
No, I am not part of this event.
Okay, so you're free to go anytime. You don't have to actually be
Yeah, I know, but if he's gonna sit here and say that rape culture is a myth, then somebody needs to sit here and say.
We're going to deal with that, but you're not helping the situation by adding to it. So adding him, no, it's
By
encouraging.
adding to it, I added to rape culture
I
by
believe that
getting
officer,
raped.
whatever you need us to do.
You're not mad.
I understand.
So if I called you and said somebody raped me, you wouldn't be mad?
But that's
Well,
not
you
what's
just
happening.
twisted my words, and I didn't say that.
Officer, what
Officer,
is
we
your name?
want to work with you.
And I did not say I didn't have that.
I've been raped on your campus,
Yeah,
sir.
and I'm sorry for that. Did we take care of you?
No, sir, he's still walking around on this campus.
Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some order here, and if you're not willing to have to be a part of this, then you're free to leave,
Well, if
okay?
no one else is going to stand up for it, then I'm going to stand up for it.
Then you're okay staying here, because I just want to make sure he's not doing anything to you, harming you.
No, I'm
okay?
not, officer.
All right.
So we can continue the conversation if you like, or anyone else. Let's move forward.
I actually have class to get to, but
Okay.
you know what? I hope you enjoy this, and I hope that you never get raped because it's horrible.
I hope so.
And rape culture exists, and you're telling me 1 in 1,000? I can tell you that's bullshit.
1 in 1,900.
Do you see 1,900 people standing here? I can guarantee you, multiple people right here have been raped, and this is not 1,900 people. So.
How can you guarantee that?
And if anybody needs TCUPD because they've been raped, good luck, because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Film it if you want, post it if you want. I introduced myself to this man, and this man is saying 1 in 1,900? 1,900?
According to the FBI, yeah.
According to the FBI, 1 in 1,900 people have been raped. I can guarantee that I'm not the only one standing here that's been raped. And we are not 1,900. So thank you. And thank you. And I hope you get the hell off our campus.
Fucking 12, you piece of shit. Fucking 12 years old. What do you mean that's so what? What do you mean that's so what?
Ram, I need you to back up.
No, hold on.
Wait,
Don't
touch me. I need you to back up.
It's my son. You want me doing that to you, mate? Yeah, no, I want to do my son first. I'm an advocate. No, you don't tell me not yet. You have my 12-year-old. What the fuck take this for? They don't gonna calm the fuck down. Right now, I go up here and no, and you're in handcuffs. You're in hold on, one sec. As soon as you let me talk to me. Okay? So why, it was Tommy that called him beforehand. He's 12. You guys always try to get this young black man in the system beforehand. Alright? I'm not gonna act like, wait, hold on, Sonia. I'm not gonna act No, you're gonna tell me after I get this frustration out. You're gonna dictate to me. If it was Tommy, you would call his parents. He's 12. A fucking white kid. So why are you arresting him for? Go ahead now. Okay. Independent witness. This is your son and another male in possession of weapons. Okay then, so everybody can move. I'm his parent. I want no here. What is it? No, when you guys say that, right? When they're investigating a weapon on him, but there is no fucking weapon. Take my son out of the fucking car. Take my son out of the motherfucking car. Take him out. You obviously don't know how the fucking law works. My brother's a police officer, so I know the shit you guys are trying to do. So when you say prohibited weapon, right? I bet you to be like a little stick here and that. We use those big words so it looks so it suits why you have my 12-year-old in there. What prohibited weapon did he have? A taser. Okay, it's a taser on him now. So what the fuck you have him in there for? Don't give a fuck. You smoke where I want. It's like thinking shit. Don't give a fuck.
So listen, I've explained it, yeah.
No, you didn't. Not good enough. Not good enough. So he didn't have a taser. You heard something.
She's going to be under arrest shortly.
Shortly? It was fucking investigated with it. No, she's fucking not. No, you didn't. And this did well. You need to move on. You know what? Okay, you know what we're going to do? What did you take it to? Where's it? Okay, you know what? So he doesn't so wait, go. And then shame on you. So how did you shame on you. How did you shame on you. How did you shame on you. If he has no taser, how did you have a fucking mouth now? Shame on you. Tell me.
Independent witness.
You have an eyewitness.
Pointed him out to me.
Yes. So, okay, who's that witness? The white dude over there?
I'm obviously not going to tell you.
Yeah, I know. So, because you have him, you're going to tell me.
I'm not division.
No, why is somebody telling me taking away? So you guys do the young and you didn't find nothing on him. There's many black kids out here. So why?
Had the taser. It's called joint possession.
So where's the boy? Where's the boy?
He's in custody. He's gone in another police car already.
Oh, so that's how you're going to take people down?
Ma'am, listen, we're doing our job.
No, you're not. No, murders and Brown. What the fuck you solve that? Yeah, solve that. What the fuck you solve that? 12-year-old fucking job. It's their job, the system. It's their fucking job. You're a piece of shit. Yeah, you are a piece of shit. And you call it a piece of shit. And shame on you. You fucking little fucking hell fucking nigga. Come on, son, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Don't worry nothing. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
You don't work on your schedule.
No, you're my fucking, you're fucking over my fucking schedule.
If you don't stop this, you're going to be arrested.
Yeah, and they're taping everything.
Good, let them
and
tape.
taping everything.
Good, and you know
and I'm a
seeing?
mother.
They're
And
seeing,
what?
You know what they're seeing? You escalate.
Yeah, because you're okay, because I'm your son.
It doesn't matter.
We're going to bring in this one now. I don't know what the fuck she's going to do. What are you going to do? What the fuck she's going to do?
I'm glad they're taping because you're the
Yes,
one.
my son. I gave birth to him.
He's in custody.
And you ain't got no child, right? It's easy for you. He had no taser on him. Joint custody. So you do this young black man. You understand? Put him some early. As a 12-year-old. That's what you do. They had to solve that with one fucking murder. But he's a 12-year-old that had nothing on him. Like a 12-year-old don't know what his friend's carrying, right? And then I get my time that's wasted, right? You guys don't respect the dynamics of my family. You understand? You guys are okay with the fucking Becky, the fucking Tommy, and with the fucking white kid. You're not fucking being there. So I didn't want to fucking sit there. Fuck him and fuck her. Fuck him and fuck her. And fuck that hostage. Yeah, that's not your situation. You don't live this all the time. It's not your reality, all right? It's not your reality. How's this your reality? You're a young black man? How's your reality? How's your reality? How's it your reality? How's it your reality?
Because I'm dealing with you guys now.
Because you have my son. You know what? You're a piece of shit and like let's go. You're a piece of shit. He's just a piece of shit. And let's start fucking marking on my time right now to a fucking station.
Okay, no problem. You know what it is.
Yo. You gotta fucking bring other fucking somebody fucking they gotta fucking.
No lie, why is there so much backup? No, this is whack. Like, why the fuck? Look how many police cars there are. Like, it's a 12-year-old kid in the car. Like, this is so stupid. For what? Like, look at this. Look at this. Look how many fucking cop cars there are. It's stupid.
Bring 5 cars for a 12-year-old there.
What's his name? Mikkel? Yo, free up Mikkel. This guy's in grade 7, bro. His friend had it apparently, and they already took the friend. But I don't know why he. Yeah, this kid's 12, bro. He's in grade 7. Like.
see for a reason. And it's going to be explained very nicely. Right? And this does it. So it's great that people are filming it because this is,
I don't like how people are laughing.
we're not wrong here.
It's not funny. Because imagine this happened to your brother.
Facts.
Or your uncle. Your father.
You are supporting Nazis. Do you understand that?
Communism?
Yeah, I
that what that
fucking
is?
am.
They
Fuck
killed
you,
way
man.
more people. Don't pour your coffee on me.
Fuck you, I will.
Than the
Fuck all of
Nazis?
you.
What
But
is
do you
wrong with you?
understand that fascism is here?
What is
Y'all
wrong with
understand
you?
that Nazis are
What
fucking
is wrong
here?
with you, woman?
A fucking Nazi was
What
just
is
elected
wrong
in
with
Brazil.
you? You're pouring coffee on strangers. You have to
Fuck
ask
off, man.
yourself, what the hell is wrong with you?
Nazis are fucking shooting
You're
my people.
throwing milk at people.
Nazis are shooting my people.
All right,
I don't
I
give
gotta
a
use
damn.
Nazis are socialists, by the way.
Nazis are not fucking socialists, you dumbass. Take a history class, you piece of shit.
National Socialism. National Socialist is actually the name of the...
The National Socialists. Oh my god, as if I don't know this is a fucking
When she
history
starts
major.
mocking you, that's when there's no argument left.
My god. Why do y'all always focus on the socialist part of that instead of the nationalist part of that? Why don't you realize that there were fucking KPD, Communist Party, fucking Socialist Party in the German parliament at the same time? Goddamn idiots.
Can you leave?
In fact I can, because I have class to go to, but I hope y'all realize that you are normalizing and enabling Nazis. And you can film me, I don't give a shit. Listen here. 11 of my people are fucking dead this weekend. 2 black people are dead in Kentucky.
Yeah,
These are fucking
that's awful.
nationalist murderers.
Yeah.
That this normalizes. Do you really care?
Yeah.
Do you?
Here, have a jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I have a jacket. I give it to you too.
Cool.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jane. I'm social justice waste. Agree with me or you'll be shamed.